Hello! Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Here's what the box looks like. And that's the spelling of Gabby's name. The website is schifferbooks.com, I believe. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Schiffer, yep. Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. It's illustrated by Jesse Reish, and then I believe there's a website at the bottom there, hayhouse.com, if you're interested. And the dice, I use a 22-sided dice for the Major Arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. And then I use a 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, and then a 4-sided dice to decide the element. Those dice, I believe they all came because I got an updated one from this place where I think it's Math Art Fun, I believe. I can't see it on the camera myself right now, but hopefully you can see the website if you want to check it out. I believe it's Math Art Fun. Math Art Fun, yep. All right. That being said, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much, and let's go on to your read. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? Big breath. I'm noticing, like, big breath. What's up with that? Where are we going? Oh, 4 of Swords. It's a healing card. Empress over here. Yeah, that would be... Okay. Really? The Wheel of Fortune shows up again. The Wheel of Fortune just keeps showing up all over the place. I don't know why I'm so bent out of shape, but it showed up for Virgo, too. I haven't done Taurus yet, but it's just like the earth signs are not a fan of the Wheel of Fortune. They're just, you like things to make sense, neat and orderly. Go where you're supposed to, show up when you're supposed to, leave when you're supposed to, not just this random thing. And when the wheel shows up, earth signs, and Capricorn's an earth sign, not usually a big fan of it. But let's see what happens. Let's see where we're going with this. Although I do see that coming towards you, you do have a solid grasp of what you're dealing with. And it's not just like you know what you're dealing with. It's kind of like you have some control over this. So it's kind of like you're driving the car. It could be, maybe it's somebody else owns the car. Maybe there's some tasks you have to do for them while you're borrowing it. But you get to drive it down what street you've decided is appropriate. And you get to take the path that you've decided you will take. If you follow me on that. So there's a lot of momentum going forward with this situation. But that's the analogy I get. It's kind of like I have to use somebody else's vehicle, and there's a couple things I have to do for them while I'm using this vehicle, but I get to do things for myself as well, and I'm choosing the path, and I drive the car the way I see appropriate. So that's the control you have over here. So that makes a big difference here. Okay, all right, and I feel like whatever the situation is, you're aware of the boundaries. Capricorn is about boundaries. So you don't get involved in something unless, I feel like Capricorn doesn't get involved in something unless they have the boundaries set or if they've decided what their boundaries are. You know where you're going to take it, how far you're going to go with it. You're only going to go so far with it anyway, and that's your boundary, and that's what that is. I feel like the boundaries are defined here. And I feel like you're very confident with that. So, I keep getting this analogy, like somebody might say, well, you can use it for as much as you want for this whole month. And you're just like, well, thank you. I need it on this day, and that day. And these are the days I'm going to use it. I don't need it the whole month, but as long as you can guarantee me this day, and this day. And they're like, yeah, just keep the car with you. You can use it on those days. You can use it the whole month if you want. And you're like, all right, but I'm telling you, as long as these days work and you make sure that you know that I need it for these days, yep, you can have it the whole month. Okay, as long as you're sure. And I feel like it's not just like I've set that up ahead of time, but I've also like I have some confidence in whoever I'm borrowing the car for that analogy. I do feel like you have some confidence in that. Okay. You maybe have a history with this person, or for some reason you do believe like I see how other people have dealt with this. I feel like I can trust this within reason. Within reason, you know. Energy coming forward. So I'm gonna use that same analogy. You can use the car all month. You're like, as long as I make sure I have it on these days are gonna be busy for me. And I feel like there's information coming like, oh, you know, Capricorn, could I ask you a favor, Capricorn? While you're borrowing my car, would you be able to pick this up for me and drop it off, and pick this up for me and drop it off, and pick this up for me and drop it off? There's no rush. I just need it, you know, in the next 10 days. Sometime in the next 10 days, if you could just do these things for me. And they're not big deals, but it's coming forward and you're just kind of like, all right, I wasn't planning on that. But the distance in which I need to get them there, are you sure you have 10 days? Because I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it, but I'll find the time in the next 10 days, as long as you're sure you don't need it until this 10th. Yep, as long as I have it there by then, these 3 things, that would be great. I mean, if it's okay, if you don't mind. And you're like, nope, I can do that. I'm willing to do my share. You're letting me borrow your car. I can do this for you. This card shows up, and I feel like there's a lot of energy with it when I'm seeing the courage. It's not like it's hard for you, like, I don't know, there's something else with that. Let me just see. It's not hitting like you need courage. It's hitting like something else is influencing this. Somebody else was supposed to do these things. Because I got the 3 of Pentacles reversed and I got the Chariot out of balance. Somebody else was supposed to do these things. And I feel like this is... The courage is to not drill back how this was supposed to work out and just kind of help this person out. Somebody else failed. For whatever reason, I don't feel like you want to get involved in somebody else's mess, but I don't feel like this was originally supposed to be a part of the situation. This kind of happened and they're like, hey, somebody's asking you to help them out. I don't know who failed. I get the word failure, though. Somebody was supposed to do these things and they just couldn't for whatever reason. The courage here is like to not drill back on that, to just help. And just let it be. I don't know if that's really realistic to ask of Capricorn. But they're saying it would go easier for you if you could just kind of like let that sort itself out later. You will have your say at some point. I feel like you will. Because I'm like, Capricorn's not really going to let that go. I just kind of feel like you're not going to let that go. But when the help is asked for, just to kind of go with it and just kind of wait for things to kind of sift your way. Wait for the truth to kind of fall in your lap. And when you need to say something, you'll say something when you need to say something. But originally, to not ask the questions like, this seemed to come out of nowhere. Why? You know, why didn't you just ask me in the beginning? Because I would have helped you. Because I feel like that's the natural conversation. Like, this seems to come out of nowhere. If you just asked me in the beginning, I definitely would have done that. What happened? Like, what made these a priority now? Try to resist. That's the courage part. It's not really something that can be fixed right now, but they're like, give the truth time to show up. Because there's some things that need to kind of show up on their own. Other people have to learn the truth on their own terms. You could probably find it pretty quickly, but that's not healing the situation. Let it kind of churn forward in its own time. You will have your moment. Just give it some time to come forward. Which Capricorn can bide their time if you decide that's appropriate. I know that. So hopefully this makes sense the way I'm bringing it forward. Because there is some random energy here. It's kind of like Capricorn's not a fan of random energy. Not usually a fan of it. It's got to kind of come to a simmer. It's got to kind of calm down a bit before you can really do something with it. So let it be for now if you can. If you can. There is healing coming out of this, by the way. Definitely there's some healing coming out of this. For the beginning part, it's just kind of like help the situation thrive or continue to keep going. do what you can to help it keep going for now, and then let the truth come forward, because I feel like we got to give it a moment. It's like bubbles coming to the surface. You could go down and try to find these bubbles, but it's easier if you just let it kind of come up. And if when it comes up, it kind of shows itself anyway, and then nobody gets to point a finger like Capricorn. Capricorn did this, Capricorn did that. Capricorn didn't do anything except help out the situation. But if you go down and if you dive down and try to find the issue, I just feel like people try to make you the scapegoat in something that you really didn't do anything bad about. Let the situation heal on its own a little bit. It's the advice. You're going to do what you want to do, clearly. As we keep moving forward, this is how I feel like this could really sort out in a very positive way. Because somebody's going to... There's going to be... This is when it's going to start making sense. Especially if you don't try to drill down and find out, why didn't you ask me in the beginning? If you just kind of yeah, sure, I'll help. And then you just keep it in your back of your mind, later I'll find out what happened and why I needed to. It may just... Because somebody's going to bring it forward to you anyway. Let them be the front person. Let them be the front person. I almost said front man. It's almost like a group. But the front person, front man, front woman, front whoever, any gender you want. Front person. Let them be the front person, because they're bringing forward some information, and they're kind of trying to let you know, hey, that was really awesome that you did that, Capricorn. There's some other problems going on here, but I'm handling it. I just wanted to keep you in the know. Since you helped out with that, I was thinking maybe I could use your assistance again later, but I don't know. For right now, I got it. I just wanted to let you know what was going on. That way maybe I could, if I keep you in the loop, maybe if you can help me out later if I need it. I feel like you like this person. I feel like this person is fine. The Wheel of Fortune is around the situation. There's something that's not quite right. I don't really like the way this is feeling. The Wheel of Fortune isn't usually all good or all bad. It's usually a mix of both. But I'm getting this as more not so good than good. So whatever's going on there is random energy not working out right. Let that person stay in the forefront. It's easier for you to stay in the background. I don't think you really want to get knee deep in it anyway. Everybody seems to be getting along. So what I'm getting is everybody seems to be getting along, and it's kind of I'm staying in the background. It seems like it's better that way. What they're saying don't let it stay a complete mystery. This seems very interesting, right? Even though you're staying in the background and you're not becoming the front person on this, they're saying don't act like you don't know what's going on. You could do that if you wanted to. They're saying don't do that. Okay. Here's what they're saying to do. This is interesting because this feels like we're splitting hairs, but you decide for yourself, clearly. Do let people know, yep, I know something isn't right, and I helped out there. And you know what? I've been talking to so-and-so, the front person, and I'll work with them. If there needs to be more help, I'll help them. But if I have to keep helping, I will be helping putting it. I will make sure it works out right. I feel like I'm not getting knee deep in it still, but I'm making people know. I'm letting people know, oh yeah, I helped out once. I don't know all the ins and outs, and so told me they're handling it. I have confidence in them at this point, but I can tell you this: if they ask me for help, I will get deeper involved, and I will help it go right, and it will go the right way. It's kind of I'm not really deep in it right now, but if it keeps messing up, I might be. I feel like I'm giving that influence, you better make sure that if you don't do what you're supposed to, that you really want me involved, because once I get involved, it will work the way it's supposed to. I don't know if this makes sense. I hope it's making sense the way because I feel like you're not going to be the front person at this point, at least, and you don't really want to, is what I'm also getting. But it's kind of when people are kind of playing everything's beautiful, you're well, yeah, we're getting along, and I like getting along with you. But I'm not going to act like I don't know what's going on. I know something's up. I don't know the details, and so is handling it. And I'm fine with that for now, but if I have to get involved again, I might get a bit deeper involved. And if I do, you probably won't like it. So you might want to toe the line now before I make you do it. I keep getting that energy, kind of you know what? Why don't you just fix your situation, people? before I get involved, and we'll all be happier. It's kind of like that attitude. I don't know if that makes sense or if it seems a little brutal. I kind of feel that energy going on here. So I feel like I'm giving people a chance to fix their own problem before I get involved. Whatever this is, I do feel at some point you will be deeper involved, but if they're at least trying to do the right thing, it doesn't have to be that bad, if you follow me. It's kind of like, if somebody, if you're going away for the weekend and the kids are home, it's like if you give them that impression, like that house better look as good in condition when I come back as when I left. Not that you would do that, but you know what I'm saying. Say they're early 20s and they're just house sitting for you, whatever. The house better look as good when I come back, if not better, or you're going to wish it did. I keep getting that energy. I don't know if that sounds a little crazy, but when you come back, it's the difference between having the whole house a mess and maybe 1 or 2 rooms out of what is there, 10 rooms in a house normally? You know what I mean? It's kind of like instead of it being completely out of whack, it's kind of like there's a couple annoyances, but I'd rather just have to fix a couple rooms than the whole house. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference I'm getting this has, because it's going to be what it's going to be. It's not going to be perfect, but at least they could make an effort, if you follow me. It'll balance out better this way, because I feel like whatever this is, it's got to have its moment to try. And if they at least try to put it where it's supposed to, it's better for you, it's better for everybody else. It's probably a learning situation for whoever it is. So if you can influence them to do it themselves, I still feel like they're not going to do it. It's not going to be correct, but it's going to be better. If they at least try, there's room to grow. I think that's the difference. If they at least try, there's room to grow. If they don't try, it's kind of like... my experience with Capricorn will acknowledge something that at least there was effort. I'm not saying you're going to praise it, but you'll acknowledge it. That's what I also get. At least that's my experience with Capricorn. Like, at least you tried. I feel like Capricorn acknowledges it. I'm not saying you're going to praise it. I'm saying you're going to acknowledge it. And you might even say, well, all right, this is where you went a little bit too far, or this is where you didn't go far enough. I feel like you'll also kind of like, well, I respect that you got this far, but you needed to take it here. And I feel like you're not gonna pretend like it's better than it was. But I also feel like you're not gonna act like there was no effort at all. Only time I've seen Capricorn do that is if you already really dislike somebody, and that's a whole different story. It's a whole different story. Okay. Is there anything else I need to say with this? I think we got it. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.